Have you ever seen your glorious history on the street? Today, let's hear how our protagonist saved himself in a comedic showdown. The bystanders thumped their chests, feeling like they were about to turn into gentle boys while watching a superhero. Fyodor realized he had to find his girlfriend fast, so he borrowed a motorcycle but ended up in a spectacular crash before he could speed up. He thought, I must make sure I'm not too beaten up, and dashed his girlfriend's house to cool down. Nightmares approached. His enemy was barreling toward his girlfriend, and he chuckled while deciding to strike first. Oddly, just as he thought about running away, he saw a hitman slowly approaching. Wondering if he was performing in slow motion, he intentionally knocked off his girlfriend's backpack, quickly dispatched the enemy, and tossed them into the pool for a surprise step. Fyodor decided to come clean. Turns out he was a secret agent who accidentally blew his cover for his girlfriend's safety. He dropped a big-name villain, sounding just like a movie plot, but his girlfriend coldly responded, "Are you making this up?" An argument was brewing, and as the poison crept in, Fyodor pleaded for his girlfriend's help, turning the situation super awkward. They began a life-or-death trade, resembling a supermarket sale but with discounts that really hurt. Just then, his sidekick called with news, which turned out to be a major blunder, sending Fyodor into pure hysteria. However, when he arrived, he realized he wasn't in the right place, feeling like he was just pranked. Just when he was about to lose hope, his girlfriend suddenly appeared, totally superhero style. Fyodor retaliated rapidly, jokingly finishing the job, then they quickly made their escape as if running away from a farce. Finally, the girlfriend believed him, and as enemies pursued, she turned into a brave waitress serving up heroics. With uncanny luck, Fyodor dealt with the enemies coolly, feeling like he was playing a shooting game. To stimulate circulation, he nailed his thigh, but to no surprise, he felt nothing at all. Four pals suddenly appeared to save his life, leading to a conversation about life and death like it was a comedy routine. Seeing Fyodor's predicament, the big boss secretly rejoiced and jumped in. The two teamed up to sort it all out. The ideal scheme came to light, and Fyodor realized he was just a pawn, decisively asking for a reality check. Seeing this, Fyodor fired angrily, effortlessly dispatching the sidekick, reminiscent of an easy shooting practice. In an instant, the sidekick was gone, and Fyodor screamed joyfully like a doomsday survivor, leaving the big boss dumbfounded. Seeing the situation worsening, the big boss made the decision to escape swiftly, but Fyodor easily and effortlessly gave him a warm hug. Sadly, just as Fyodor looked up, the big boss offered him a boggin, causing him to collapse instantly. He didn't care, turning around to land a heavy punch on the old boss, leaving chaos in his wake. At this point, the big boss panicked and tried to run, but Fyodor pursued him like a scene from a movie. Under everyone's gaze, Fyodor solidified his victory and decided to simply jump together with the boss. Suddenly, they were flying in the air, and Fyodor used his last ounce of strength to become an airborne skeleton. Fyodor chuckled, starting a new life, but just as he was soaring, a white van suddenly appeared. He was escorted away by a bunch of folks, resembling a stuntman in a rescue mission. Thought it was rescue, ended up as stainless steel heart, almost laughed. When he finally woke up, he saw two doctors walk in, as if they were throwing an organ party. Fyodor instantly activated super mode, sending the doctor away with a single move, and nailing anyone who was nearby. He discovered a power bank and shouted, "Retrieve the heart," before daring to venture out. By chance, he encountered a petty thug, and with a punch, it was like looking in the mirror, leaving Fyodor grinning ear to ear. Any enemies who dared to stop him were dispatched like a game of disappearing foes. All that was left was a chubby thug, and Fyodor patiently asked about the heart's whereabouts, but the kid wouldn't budge, totally clueless. Fyodor, exasperated, finally gave him a dynamite experience, which yielded the name of the real mob boss. Without hesitation, he drove to the target, only to find he was nearly out of juice, almost crashing. In a moment of measurement, the red light blinked, and he quickly hooked up the battery for a boost. Thanks to the surge, he zoomed out with a match figure, almost like a race car driver. After chatting with his private doc, he realized the artificial heart could only prolong his survival, and time was ticking. At this point, another car arrived, and Fyodor flagged it down for a little fast and furious. But in a careless moment, he crashed into a barricade, feeling like his gut was flipping as if trying to upend paradise. Fyodor staggered back to his feet despite his injuries, as if had hit a battery ceiling. He connected his belly to the car battery, practically hitting the button on a power-up gate. As a result, with full power, Fyodor transformed into a wild stallion, racing away like a sports car. He sprinted wildly across town, eventually arriving at the club's entrance. With a mighty punch, he downed a hefty bouncer at the club, then marched in to find his girlfriend among the flashing dance performance.